Do you want to make your life easier, quicker, and more straightforwards? Or perhaps you want to delegate your work but are worried other people may make mistakes? Well, Asana templates may be just what you're looking for, and that's what I'm going to be covering in this video. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Andy, a property investor based in Maidenhead. In this week's video, I'll show you why you should use Asana templates, even if they're just for yourself, how to use Asana's project templates on the free plan, how to create your own project templates without subscribing to Asana Premium, and what you can't do on the free plan, and a couple of disadvantages to this approach. So there's loads coming up, so make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and let's get into the training. So firstly, to kick things off, why use templates? Well, it's important to understand what templates are and why they're useful. And a template is something you follow to get a desired outcome. For example, you may have used a template when baking to get the desired cookie shape, or perhaps you've used a template in Word to make your letters look more professional. Well, templates give you a hand to get a consistent result many times over. So what are some of the benefits of templates? Well, number one is they give you a consistent result because you can follow the same steps again and again. It's much easier to delegate to somebody else. So rather than then having to think up the process themselves, they can just go and take your system or your set of steps and you can give it to somebody else and they go and run those steps. It reduces the chance of something being missed. If you've got a checklist, for example, pilots always have a pre-flight checklist, they can make sure that nothing is missed. It also makes it easier to improve the process over time. So if you are following a set of steps that you already have, you can easily see where you want to go and insert other steps, improve things, maybe change the order, etc. Because you've already got a very specific prescribed list of steps. It also saves you time because you don't have to start the process from scratch every time you go to look to do the same thing. And lastly, is it gives you more control by ensuring that things are done completely and nothing is missed. So these points may sound like they're only relevant if you work with others, but actually they can be very useful even if you're a solopreneur or just using them personally. So whether it's a templated checklist for going on holiday perhaps, or just completing your annual finances, templates can actually reduce stress and ensure everything goes without a hitch. So they're definitely something worth looking into and trying to implement both personally and professionally. So we know what templates are for, so what about Asana? Well, Asana is a fantastic tool for managing tasks, projects, and working with other people. And in my previous videos, I've gone over a lot of ASANA Basics, including how to create a new account, how to use tasks and boards, creating projects, and other top tips. So do make sure you check out my ASANA Basics playlist. It will be linked above, and I'll also add it to the description below as well. And part of Asana's power is actually helping people to complete repetitive tasks and projects. So for example, maybe you complete the same set of tasks each month around your business's finances. You may run a 2-week agile sprint cycle and you need to track the various tasks in that. Or perhaps you go away on business trips and you need a checklist of items to make sure you don't forget anything. And templating can make each of these so much easier to remember what needs doing and reduce time reinventing the wheel each time you do one of these tasks. So where do you start? Well, firstly, Asana themselves provides a lot of templates for many different use cases. So to get us started, I'm going to show you, just share my screen and show you how we can go and use one of Asana's own templates. So I'm currently logged in. I'm just going to go and click the plus icon here on the right hand side and go new project. And if you do want to learn more about how to use projects, then do check out my Asana Basics video on projects, link above and also in the description. And you'll notice that there is different options when creating a new project and we want to use the user template. And if we scroll down, the one that I wanted to quickly use is the work requests. So that's here. There are loads of different templates from Asana. So if I just click on work requests, and we can find a little bit of a summary about what the template does, and also we've got an image. Now you'll notice at the top there's actually an option to add some business features. So as listed here, there are some features like forms, custom fields, rules, etc. that require a premium or business subscription to access. And so if you are only on the free plan, you do get some features, but not everything. So that's just something to bear in mind. So once you've found the template that matches your requirements, and there are lots and lots here all listed on the left hand side, just click use template, and it'll ask us to go and name it. So let's call this work requests new, and you can select which team it goes into. So let's go and put it into marketing. You've also got the various access. So who can access it? So is it the marketing team or is it just yourself? And we'll go create project. And then it just takes a couple of seconds just to go and create that new project. And then you can see that it's just appearing here. We've got a few tasks set up that are just examples as well. It's got the various columns, so new requests, backlog, in progress and completed. And then you can obviously change the colors and the logo, etc. So that's how we go and use one of Asana's own templates. But what if you want to use one of your own? Well, that's what we'll get on to now. Now, if you're in an Asana organization, you'll have access to teams on the left-hand side. So if we have a quick look, I've actually got a test team, a marketing team, and then a templates team, which we'll come to in a minute. But if you've only got a workspace rather than an organization, you won't have these. And if you don't know what I'm on about or what the difference is, then do check out my ASANA Basics video all about setting up your account, link above and in the description to find out more. And when working with teams in an organization, I would suggest setting up a team called templates, which I've done here on the left hand side. And that basically keeps all of your templates in one place and keeps things nice and tidy rather than cluttering up the various other teams in your organization. So create a new team. You can do that quite easily as well. And I've got more on teams in my other videos. And to create a new template, just add a normal project first, as usual. So if you can do it two ways, either click the plus button here and go blank project, or you can go up to the right hand side to the quick launch and then go project. This time we're going to create a blank project, and let's just call this onboarding template, for example. Again, we'll say, where's it going to go? So this is going to go into the templates team, and it's useful at the start just to prefix it with a T, just so that if people stumble across this when searching for projects, they do know that it's a template and they shouldn't start actually using it to track things. So we've labeled it as a template, called it onboarding template. Let's make this into a board, and then we just click continue. Then it'll say what you want to do first. So in this case, we'll just start adding some tasks and we'll click go to project. Great. So now we've got our onboarding template. Just by default, it does create some columns, but just imagine that we had sort of, well, I can show you an example actually. So if we had a new team member here, we've got our job candidate tracker. So new candidates, review their CV, a pre-IV task, interview, job offer, etc. And something that's really useful is, as well as the sort of layout for this project, you can also put in tasks. So I've got here a template candidate where I've got a couple of notes. So what information do we need in the task? I've also got various tasks for each of the stages, depending on how far the candidate gets, etc. And when you go and duplicate this, you can also duplicate the tasks. So if you imagine that this is our job candidate tracker, so this is a template, and we want to go and use it for a new role, like we would for any other template. So how do we go about doing that? Well, very simply, if you just go up to the drop down by the template name, it's got a duplicate. And let's say that we wanted to go and use this. We'll go and call it job candidate web developer, for example. So this is our new job role, and we want to go and track the various candidates that are applying for that job. And then we've got various tick boxes. So we want to include all tasks because we want to include this template task. The project description, that's up to you. Project members, again, it's whether people are assigned to the template and whether you want to copy them across. So I'm going to untick that. Tags, the task description itself, any subtasks and attachments. Now, some of these you'll see have got like a little premium feature. So that just means that to be able to use and duplicate these, you need to be a premium or business subscriber. So that's why some of them have got these little logos. I could also copy across the actual assignee, so I am going to do that, and the task due dates. So now I'm just going to click Create New Project. So depending on how complicated your template is, it does take a little while just as it goes and duplicates each of these tasks and the project. But this is really useful because you can set up template tasks inside your project. And so all of those are duplicated as well when you start and create a new project based off your template. So you can see now that we've got the job candidate web developer. It's copied everything in here, and then we could start using this task. And again, we could copy this. So I could go and duplicate this task and say that this is going to be Joe Blogs, and go and create a new task. And then we've got our first candidate, Joe Blogs. We could go and enter his details. So it's Joe Blogs. We could then go and enter a phone number and an email address, etc. We've also got in here the various details, the names and the tasks. So that's really saves you a lot of time and thinking when you can just duplicate each of these things. And then we can of course move him through the process as he passes each of the various stages. Now you may notice that this has put that project based off the template in the templates team. So what I'm going to do now is quickly move that. So if you go edit project details, and I'm going to select that it needs to be in the marketing team and not in the templates. Cool, and then that's just moved across. And we've got our job candidate web developer there. So there are a couple of downsides to this, and something that you just need to be aware of. So firstly, when you go and duplicate or the tasks that you have in your template, so if I again look at this template candidate, I'm assigned to some of these tasks and they've got due dates. Now, this is a template, but Asana doesn't know that it's a template. So these actually appear in my tasks. So if I actually look in here, we can see I've got task 1, 2, and 3. We can see that I've got book diary appointments and all those sort of tasks that are in our template actually appear in my tasks. So if you then went and duplicated the project, you would end up with loads and loads of tasks in here. Whereas if you were to be on an Asana premium or business subscription, when you create a official project template, it knows that although you're assigned to it, it's a template, and so it doesn't appear in my tasks. So that's just one thing to be aware of and just to ignore. Secondly is dates don't work. So in your template here on the left hand side, it can only use absolute dates. So it's got the 4th, the 11th and the 18th of March. So those dates have been set and now it looks like they're actually overdue. Whereas when you go and create an official template on one of the paid for subscriptions, you can create relative dates. So you could say, what's the date that the project starts? And then you could say each of these tasks are +7, +14, +21 days based on the project start date. And you set that, or you can send the completion date when you create it, and then it calculates all of the due dates automatically. Whereas obviously in our own sort of hack to do these for free, the dates, you'd have to enter those in manually. So it is a little bit of a compromise, but there is loads that you can do on the Asana free plan. And that's just one of the little shortcomings if you don't want to initially pay for one of the premium subscriptions. So that's all that we've got to cover for these templates. They're a straightforward way to make your life easier, whether you're working individually or as a team. So have a think, what projects could you template straight away, and let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear. I've actually got loads more videos like this coming up every week as part of my ASANA Basics series on YouTube. So do make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. But that's it for today. I hope you found it useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.